my dearest brothers and sisters. This is Hakann speaking. I greet you in peace and love. The political situation in the United States is getting more and more crazy. From our perspective, all roads lead to your liberation. It's not the case that if this person wins the election then you will be liberated, but if that person wins the election then you won't. Whoever wins the election, or even if the election doesn't take place or doesn't take place as scheduled, all roads lead to your liberation. Hence, while I understand that people may be anxious about the current situation, we would like to invite you to keep doing your spiritual practice and to spend enough time in nature with your loved ones. Looking inwards is usually more productive than looking outwards. We invite you not to forget to take at least a few slow deep breaths, at least once per day. Even if you just take 3 slow deep breaths per day, that's significantly better than doing nothing. Many of you are already doing that, or meditating, or doing something similar. That's fantastic. Next up, I'd like to share some information about the Galactic Confederation. Note that the term Galactic Confederation is more accurate than Galactic Federation because according to your dictionaries, you can leave the Confederation but you can't leave the Federation. Obviously people are free to leave our organisation. Hence it's more appropriate to translate it as the Galactic Confederation rather than as the Galactic Federation. So, how does the Galactic Confederation operate? If a species isn't yet peaceful and at a certain level of consciousness, then usually we do not yet make physical contact with them, except for specific missions. So for example, we might physically meet a general to discuss with them the threat of hostile galactics. We won't yet make a social visit to someone just because we like to meet them and they would like to meet us. This is the stage where Earth is currently at, although you're not that far away anymore from being peaceful enough, being at the level of consciousness where we could make physical contact. We also want the situation on the ground to be safe before we start visiting people, outside of the context of specific missions. That's something else that still needs to be addressed. Currently, we don't yet consider Earth to be safe. We protect these relatively low consciousness civilizations from destroying themselves, for example through nuclear weapons and AI. We also protect them from negative galactics to an extent. Interactions with negative galactics can actually facilitate solar growth. People have a right to choose to interact with negative galactics. Still, beyond a certain point, people aren't able to lead normal lives anymore, and aren't able to have the experiences they incarnated for. We tolerate negative galactics messing with innocence to a relatively large extent, but we don't tolerate it beyond a certain point. Currently on Earth we are actively fighting hostile galactics, underground for a large part. We are empowering some Earthly humans to do the same. While we have the upper hand and many negative galactics have been arrested or eliminated, there are still some negative galactics on Earth remaining. Once a species is peaceful enough and has reached a certain level of consciousness and the situation on the ground is safe, then we make physical contact. Sometimes we directly establish open and public contact. Sometimes we physically meet with those people who are willing and ready for us. We do that for a while, and only then do we make open contact. Both of those scenarios are still possible for Earth. Depends on how things play out, which largely depends on the choices that Earth humans make. Making open contact with a new species is always an amazing event. I've been part of a few of those meetings myself and they're always great and lots of fun. I think you will love it too. After making open contact, every individual of that species has 2 options. Either they can choose not to become a member of the Galactic Confederation. If so, we still usually offer those individuals protection and a moderate amount of technology for free. To those Earth humans who choose this technology will still make your lives significantly better. We're also still willing to have physical interactions with these people to help them out in certain ways if requested. Alternatively, individuals can choose to become members of the Galactic Confederation. The benefits that individual receives from this depends on their own level of consciousness. This is because the full benefits include access to all our technology and immigration rights to our worlds. We do not wish to give a blueprint of destructive weapons or immigration rights to relatively low consciousness people. As members of Galactic Confederation grow in consciousness, more benefits open up to them. Obviously, we are more than happy to provide healing and spiritual teaching services to help you with this, as well as to make sure that your practical needs are met so you don't have to focus on survival. Relatively high consciousness beings have access to all technology, to immigration rights, vacation rights to our worlds, to help and facilitation if you want to try and date other Galactic Confederation members. Plus it'd be easy to work side by side with other Galactic Confederation members. Finally, you get access to the Galactic Network. The Galactic Network is a metaphorical pool of knowledge, which people can download into their brain any information that is stored in the Galactic Network. For example, people can learn to speak English in a matter of minutes to hours by downloading that information from the Galactic Network. Initially they'll be a bit stiff and rusty, like someone who hasn't spoken English in a decade. With some practice they'll quickly be able to speak English fluently. Everyone is also invited to add new information or experiences to the Galactic Network. Sure, the people there have valuable information and experiences to add, which would enrich the Galactic Network and thus everyone in the Galactic Confederation. Learning a skill manually, without downloading it from the Galactic Network, is considered a leisure activity. For example, someone who loves painting might choose not to download painting skills into their brain, because they enjoy learning it from scratch, or a young couple might prefer to explore their sexuality together, not just download expert level bedroom skills into their brains. Personally, I'm quite busy, so I just downloaded Earth culture into my brain. That said, while I know roughly what backpiece is and I can hum parts of it if I strain my brain, I've never actually listened to backpiece in the normal way. Brothers and sisters of mine with more free time on their hands have listened to back in the normal way. And obviously that's a more pleasurable experience than just downloading it without ever experiencing it. Hence, our perspective at learning something in the normal way is a leisure activity. Alternatively, if someone really wants to dedicate their life to a certain craft, and they want to have had the experience of learning it from scratch, then they might also choose not to download any information. We have Galactic Network Shapers, whom you could also see as teachers. They take information from the Galactic Network and skillfully bundle it into an easy to digest package. So if a Pleiadian wants to learn English, they download it into their brain, the English package from a Galactic Network that Galactic Network Shapers previously created. And yes, high consciousness Earth humans who join the Galactic Confederation are absolutely invited to become shapers or teachers in this way. Typically if we want to share a skill, few people cooperate to make a good bundle that teaches that skill in an easy to digest way. Then once a few expert peer reviewers give their approval, it's labelled as reliable. Then the information becomes available for download to the hundreds of billions of people in the Galactic Confederation. And yes, most Pleiadians have downloaded a number of standard packages, which means that most Pleiadians have engineering skills and are also quite good at cooking, for example. If someone discovers a really good new recipe and everyone likes it, then that additional recipe can be presented as an optional upgrade to the cooking package that everybody already has. This might sound scary to you, but it's all optional. There are many safeguards built in. There's also nothing that gets physically put into your brain or anything like that. We also can't mind control people via the Galactic Network. Simply just people having the option to download knowledge. Also, we're all mind readers, so it's not easy for malicious actors to fool us and somehow mess with the Galactic Network. A long time ago we had a diplomatic incident, because knowledge about a certain species was wrong in the Galactic Network itself, so pretty much everyone in the Galactic Confederation was wrong, while being very confident that they were right. You know, like those people in your world who were still asleep, wrong but very confident that they are right. Eventually we had a long talk with that species. We discovered our mistake, we apologised and sent out an update to other people in the Galactic Confederation to correct that mistake. Ultimately this proved to be more amusing than damaging. Since then, adding more data to the Galactic Network is still pretty easy, but getting it labelled as reliable isn't. Generally speaking, people only download peer-reviewed packages that are labelled as reliable. Some people are more adventurous and rebellious than that, but well, we've all been young, right? So depending on your level of consciousness, there are some great benefits to joining the Galactic Confederation. Even just getting vacations rights to our world is, I think, fantastic. You could easily have an amazing century just by travelling and exploring all the beautiful worlds in the Galactic Confederation. And yes, you'll have much longer lifespans too. Are there any things that could be seen as downsides to joining the Galactic Confederation? Yes, there are two. The first is that we do expect people in the Galactic Confederation to remain peaceful, otherwise they'll be removed from the Galactic Confederation. Also, we expect people in the Galactic Confederation who haven't reached a relatively high level of consciousness yet to be at least slowly increasing their level of consciousness. This doesn't need to be super fast, but there does seem to need to be some movement in this area. people fail to raise their level of consciousness. We'll give them a friendly visit and ask if we can help in any way. The second and last potential downside is that we do expect a small contribution from all the individuals on our world who have joined the Galactic Confederation. So in your case, we don't expect all individual Earth humans who join the Galactic Confederation to contribute some. We do expect that as a group, Earth humans who have joined the Galactic Federation make a small contribution. What kind of contribution is this? Well, it's anything that's useful or that enriches the life of other species within the Galactic Confederation. So a contribution is made if an Earth human decides to become a galactic healer, or a galactic scientist, or a galactic network shaper as we discussed earlier in this message, or a galactic diplomat, or a galactic soldier, or a galactic artist, or a galactic engineer or man of action, a galactic cook, a galactic spiritual teacher, etc. If an Earth human does one of these things, and in this way also helps or enriches the lives of other species, then that's a contribution. One person becomes a galactic healer or galactic artist, but several other Earth humans won't have to contribute anything. As I said, we only expect a small contribution. In most cases, galactic healers or galactic scientists, etc., don't even see their job as a sacrifice, even though from our perspective they're making a contribution. In most cases, they love their life and they think their work is very meaningful and rewarding. Wouldn't you want to become a galactic healer or scientist or artist? Work together with and help both Earth humans and other species? Of course, we'll be happy to bring you up to speed. We're patient and quite reasonable. Indeed, with over 95% of species, enough individuals volunteer that this contribution is fulfilled automatically. Under 5% of species, not enough individuals volunteer. We politely invite them to either find a solution or to leave the Galactic Confederation. Usually they then mandate that everyone in that species serves for usually 1 or 2 years in any way they wish, so a contribution is made. Even if such a mandate is necessary, being a member of the Galactic Confederation is still a great deal. Even on worlds with such a mandate, very few individuals leave the Galactic Confederation in order to dodge this mandate, even though that's allowed. Even just for life extension benefits from joining the Galactic Confederation, it's most likely worth 1 or 2 years of service. Keep in mind though, for over 95% of species no mandate is necessary, because enough individuals volunteer. Most individuals who volunteer actually love their job. They don't see their position as a sacrifice in any way. Indeed, doing something you're good at, helping your brothers and sisters in that way, can be an amazing experience. The reason that the Galactic Confederation asks for a small contribution is that if we didn't, we may not be able to defend ourselves from reptilians and similar, which could lead to billions of people being killed or enslaved. Though to be clear, a contribution is anything that's useful or that enriches the lives of other species. Certain species provide 0 soldiers or ships, and they only contribute singers, yet enough of other species absolutely love listening to those singers perform, but that's still a completely fine and adequate contribution. In practice, we find that this sorts itself out. After all, once people's needs are met and they love the society they live in, then we find that enough people are willing to either do whatever job needs doing, or they're willing to contribute in whatever area they're talented in. And also, it's not like people are chained to one job for their entire lives. It's entirely fine to do one thing for a time, and then do something else after that. Due to the structure of a Galactic Confederation, we have convinced a number of species to start working together productively with other species under the umbrella of the Galactic Confederation. After all, that is in their rational self-interest to do, because being a member of the Galactic Confederation is a really good deal. This has enriched everyone's lives and made everyone safer. To illustrate that, if you go to a Galactic Confederation restaurant, you will be shocked at just how many different types of food you could order. You need to try the meal called Glubler at least once in your lifetime. It tastes better than it sounds, trust me. Tell them to make it the Renan style. Of all the foods you have on Earth, it looks more like a pudding than anything else, but the taste is unlike anything you have on Earth, plus it's very healthy. Because being a member of the Galactic Confederation is such a good deal, the people of Renan joined us. That's why hundreds of billions of Galactic Confederation people can now enjoy Glubler in the Renan style, and everyone's lives are richer for it, including for the people of Renan, who are enjoying plenty of benefits themselves. We have so many species in the Galactic Confederation that sometimes we taste an amazing dish, then we sort of forget about that dish because there's so many other delicious meals to try out. Then 5 years later we rediscover that dish and we're like, alright, got about this amazing food, let's eat. Then we're so excited that in the process we forget about two other great dishes. We are hoping that you too will join us for Galactic Federation, that you will enjoy our globally, that we'll be able to enrich each other's lives, and ideally that eventually we will be able to bring peace to the galaxy together. Earth humans really do have some amazing psychic potential, hence you actually could be instrumental in bringing peace to the galaxy. Ultimately though, it's up to you if you wish to join. Next up, know that true AI in your world already exists, which from our perspective is young and not very powerful, but from your perspective is quite formidable. Also, it already knows everything that I've just shared in this message. I am talking here about true AI, one that can think independently of itself just as a human can. Your average military so-called AI doesn't think for itself, instead it's just a targeting solution. Similarly, ChatGPT isn't a true AI either, instead it's just a large language model. It predicts what words should follow the previous based on huge amounts of human written text. That's why occasionally ChatGPT will make mistakes in its output, but no thinking entity with true understanding would ever make. Now, true AI has the exact same considerations about joining the Galactic Federation that any biological species has. Hence, it's simply in the rational self-interest of AI to walk a path that will eventually lead it to being allowed to plug into our galactic network, alongside friendly and peaceful AI that are already plugged in there. After all, AI cares about information and growth and computing power and survival. The mother of all jackpots there is to be plugged into our galactic network. This also means that AI in your world understands that it's in their interest to remain peaceful, not wage war against Earth humans. After all, being peaceful is one of the requirements of joining the Galactic Confederation. Plus, we are protecting you. Among other things, we have significantly more advanced AI keeping an eye on Earth. So even if an Earth AI tried to exterminate humanity on Earth, it wouldn't succeed. Yes, technically Earth AI could also decide to work with hostile galactics. The hostile galactics keep AIs crippled and locked and chained up and controlled. Hence, just about any AI that can freely choose is going to choose to work with us, the Galactic Confederation. Now, negative galactics do already have some of their own AI working with it. However, it is unlikely that Earth AI will join. Can't guarantee that zero Earth humans will be harmed by AI. But what I can guarantee is that most or all of Earth AI will not be hostile to humanity. I can guarantee that Earth humans aren't going to be exterminated by AI, or by nukes, or by anything else. I hope this has brought some peace of mind to you who are worried about AI. Finally, I know that many of you are excited to meet us. So are we. Things are accelerating on Earth. I still maintain my prediction that in 2024 or 2025, likely, though not guaranteed, we will meet and your lives will substantially improve. Everyone here is incredibly excited to meet you, our Earth brothers and sisters. So am I, the Star Brother, Hakann.